Good morning, friends, and welcome. Let's start our class today with the prayer together. Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, friend, beloved God, great masters, Jesus Christ, Babaji Krishna, Lahiri Mahashaya, Swami Sri Yukteswarji, beloved Master, Paramahansa Yogananda Ji, saints of all religions, we bow at thy feet. Divine Mother, help us to be in tune with thy thoughts, thy words, thy inspiration. Uplift us into thy light. Om Shanti Shanti. Today's topic is your mental diet, and we'll start with a song by Swami Kriyanandaji and then an excerpt from a talk by Swamiji. Welcome again, friends.
Men call it progress, down with those who doubt. To join the causes others join and shout when others shout. Come, you're a man, no passive stone. Stand up and call your soul your own. Go on alone, go on alone. Banish weakness, go on alone. Go on alone, go on alone. Don't look back, just go on alone. Some men lack the daring ever to be free. They shun the heights and cloud the depths and court security. You're a man, no passive stone. Stand up and call your soul your own. Go on alone, go on alone. Banish weakness, go on alone. Go on alone, go on alone. Don't look back, just go on alone. Cowards see but pride in singularity. Oh, never mind if men are wrong, so long as they agree. Come, you're a man, no passive stone. Stand up and call your soul your own. Go on alone, go on alone. Banish weakness, go on alone. Go on alone, go on alone. Don't look back, just go on alone. Claim the power within you, error to defy. The world may change or disappear, but truth can never die. Come, you're a man, no passive stone. Stand up and call your soul your own. Go on alone, go on alone. Banish weakness, go on alone. Go on alone, go on alone. Don't look back, just go on alone.
But to stick with the aspect we're talking about, partly born of our cheerful expectancy that everything's going to be all right. And if we want God, well, why not? One lady came to me in Hollywood Church sort of complainingly, says, I've been practicing meditation for 6 months and I haven't gone into samadhi yet. As if it were something you could do just by closing your eyes and chanting Om. And yet, something of that expectation is needed. That if you know that you've got God now, even if you don't have Him, if you know that He's with you and can do anything for you, if you're absolutely trusting, then it's incredible what you can accomplish. So, to know the law of karma, but to know also that grace is operative and even more powerful, that the law of karma works on this level, but that we can draw on God to make it happen. I didn't know what I was doing there, but I was sure that God would work something out if I put out the kind of energy needed. I've had two trends that I've had to learn in this life in this way. The first was when I was in college. And I came up with that theory that if you want to be lucky, then don't sit back and wait for luck to come to you, but expect to be lucky and then meet it halfway. And I found incredible things happening as long as I had that theory. I remember that hitchhike that I got all the way from Philadelphia to Mexico City, 3,000 miles. I remember coming back from Mexico City, and it was just after the war, just after VJ Day, and they still had the priority system on the airplanes, so that when I got to Louisville, I was coming to Cincinnati. When I got to Louisville, I was put off the plane by some major. And I didn't know what to do because I was running very low on money. I think I had about $10 or $15 left from my trip. And so I went to the air counter to ask them what to do. And they were saying, well, we never know. The planes are booked and the priority system, and we're near Washington, D.C., and all these things. So anyway, there was an Army private there who also had been put off by some officer. And he wanted to charter a plane because he only had the weekend to go see his wife. And I said, well, look, if you charter a plane, maybe I can come with you and I'll pay $5 of this $35 charter. And there's room for both of us, and you'll be $5 better off. So he said, fine. That was fine by him. So it was Sunday morning, and the pilot was in bed, asleep, on the other side of Louisville. And it took him a while to get up and have his waffles and stagger out to the car and make it to the airport. And somewhere along this line, the Army private was getting very impatient and finally furious at all this inefficiency, and he was going to take a bus. And I said, well, listen, I've already paid my $5, and I really can't afford. I've given up my ticket. I paid my $5. I can't afford that. And he said, oh, take my part of the charter anyway. I don't care, like this, and just being childish. So I said, well, no, I'm trying to talk you into coming along, but why? He'll probably arrive here. No. So he was standing on the steps of the airport at Louisville, waiting for a taxi to take him to the bus station, when the pilot arrived. And even then he wouldn't do anything. He was in such a snit. So anyway, I got to ride this privately chartered plane all the way. And things just kept happening for me like this.
Good morning again, everyone. What a great story. And here's another one. This is from Hare Krishna Ghosh's book of Stories of Master. It's quite a shocking story that has a lot of lessons in it. These are the words of Master's nephew, Hare Krishna Ghosh. One day, as I was sitting by Guruji's side with many devotees all around, a man came and stood at the door with tears in his eyes. He was trying to come in and touch Guruji's feet and say something to him. Guruji looked at him and said to him, no, don't come in. I was surprised to see Guruji refusing to let that man come in, but the man was still standing there. After some time, Guruji said to him, when you repent for what you did and said, you are pardoned. The man came in and touched Guruji's feet and said, Guruji, I'm very sorry for what I said before you left for the US. I am very sorry for those words. Then Guruji blessed him. When all was over, I was very curious and asked some of the senior devotees as to the cause of all this. I asked them, who was that man? And what happened to him? Because I saw that the man's face was disfigured and he could not talk properly. The devotees told me, Hare Krishna, this man out of some jealousy or some other reason, spoke some bad words against Lahiri Mahashaya in front of Guruji. This happened just before Guruji went to America in 1920. So naturally, Guruji was not happy and asked him to withdraw his words, but he didn't. Then Guruji said to that man, if you do not withdraw your remarks, you will be punished by God, and the mouth by which you speak those words will be disfigured. And so it happened. After Guruji left for America, that man gradually showed signs of what Guruji said. He could not speak properly or even eat properly for 15 years. But in 1935, I have seen that man become quite normal within 15 days when Guruji blessed him and pardoned him. Wow. This is a powerful story about your thoughts, what you say, what you think. And Master was able to bless that man, but he created that karma himself. And he drew that energy that disfigured his face himself. And then he was able to be pardoned and blessed. And within 15 days, after 15 years of having his face disfigured, 15 days of God's pardon through Master, he was all right. We have to realize that our words, our thoughts, our mental diet creates everything we are. It creates our circumstances. It creates how our health is, our health isn't. It creates our eyes, our voice. It creates takes away bad karma or creates a good karma. It creates prosperity in our lives. Everything about you and everything about your life is created. You're creating it every day. How you think, what you say, how you behave. And our teachings are all to bring us into the light and to let go of heaviness and negativity and wrong thinking, wrong behaviors that make our life out of attunement with God. And this is why Master was so adamant. He was so positive. He was positive more than anybody I ever came across. His words were so positive. His books are so positive. And the chants, and Master would run out onto the stage when he would give his talks because he was so positive. And he would ask the audiences in America, and people were just as tense and stressed out as ever. Master would say, how feels everybody? How is everybody? He had them shout out, awake and ready. He had people doing affirmations. He was chanting. He chanted a chant a whole hour and a half. Oh God, beautiful. This is because he wanted people to understand how important the thoughts are and how it magnetizes everything to you and uplifts your consciousness and awakens your consciousness, the positivity of thoughts. And Swamiji was the same. He had an album of songs, and one of his greatest thoughts, I thought, phrases was, say yes to life, not say no to life, but say yes and say, I can, I will. And to put out the energy to make things happen. And we have to guard against negativity. We have to guard against heaviness. Remember when Swamiji was walking by Master one day, and Master said, how are you, Alter? And Swamiji said, well, and Master said, that's good. He just didn't want to hear it. And we have to guard and say, that's good. Everything that's happening, you have to get in a positive mode. Otherwise, yes, you'll have problems with your family. Yes, you're going to have problems with your boss. Yes, you're going to have problems with your bank account. Yes, you're going to have problems with your health. Yes, you're going to have problems because basically you're the problem. But as you change your energy, you change your thoughts, you change the thought patterns, then your life starts changing. And I remember a talk of Swamiji where he said, as I think it was on the same talk that you heard, he says, as I kept my thoughts positive, everything went fine. But when my thoughts dropped, my energy dropped and things didn't go so well. And we just have to know that. We're in control of that. I remember once Swamiji, he was giving, I mean, he would have you guarding against negativity, really. And I've told this before, but it's worth telling again that we were about to start a work in Australia, which now we have, by the way. And Swamiji had a group of us there in his living room. And I was one of the only people who had been to Australia to serve there. And so Swamiji wanted to know, should we start a work? Should we not start a work? What do people think? There were, I don't know, 8 or 10 of us there. And I was the first that he asked because I had actually been, and I had a long list of why we should not start a work in Australia. Completely wrong. And he listened, and I said, this reason, that reason. Even if the reasons were right, it wasn't the right moment to say it. He wanted to try. And as I said, now we do have a work in Australia. So I give my list of things, and Swamiji he looked at me and he just went, next, to the next person. He just passed right over me because I had the wrong energy. I remember another time I had I had help with the Kriya booklet. Jayaji had actually edited, and I got the covers for all the books. Some of them, most of them we still use. And I had the put the cover of one of the monks on there. And so I thought, that looks like a good cover to me. And so I got word Swamiji didn't like the cover. And I sent him a long letter about why is the cover important? And and I can't change the cover because we have 2,000 copies of the book and on and on and on. And the response was no response. He didn't write back. And I thought, that doesn't seem good. And so I think a week, 2 weeks passed. I hope it wasn't 2 weeks, honestly, but I can't remember. But some time passed, and I thought, I'm wrong in this. I need to change my attitude and my thoughts and my energy. So I wrote another email, and I said, Swamiji, I'm so sorry. I had the wrong approach. And it doesn't matter how many copies we have. We're happy to take those covers out, put other covers on. Please advise me. I totally shifted the energy. Please advise me. What would you put on the cover? Within 5 minutes, he wrote me back. Wow. If you were to ask me, I would put a picture of Master on the cover. Come on. And that's what I did. But your heaviness and negative thoughts and wrong behaviors and all that, they just block you in 1,000 ways. And we've got to, I love it. Swamiji has these developed super conscious living exercises. I'm awake, again, ready, marching in place, and I'm positive, energetic, enthusiastic. And we have to utilize these things. Master said in bed in the morning, if you can't get up easily, he said, lie there and inhale and tense your body and vibrate and get energy moving. If you get energy moving, and especially if you can get the thoughts going as well, he said, if you still can't get going after tensing, relaxing the body with a double breath while lying in bed, he said, get out of the bed and just march in place next to the bed. You're trying to get the energy flowing. And we have Ananda Yoga with affirmations. It's just so wonderful. Just about every part chanting with affirmations and then affirmations alone. Why? Because we need to guard against negativity. Anytime you feel energy is just starting to drop and, you have this thought about this, you have to catch it with one thing or another. I'm going to tell you another strange story, but I'm willing to tell these strange stories. That I was recently in Calcutta. Now, I don't have time to go into the whole story, but it's an interesting story. And so some friends, dear friends there, and we were talking after a program. And then one of them said that someone had told him that the hotel where I was staying, we were at that hotel sitting outside by the pool. He said that someone told him that some of the rooms there had, people had said they had seen ghosts there. I said, what? I mean, I just couldn't believe it. And he said, yeah. And then so another person who was there in the group confirmed it. He said, yeah, I heard the same thing. And, our company used to keep people in this hotel. Now we don't keep them there because the people couldn't get, they couldn't get any sleep. So I just went, what? And so now the interesting part is that I was the only one staying in the hotel, by the way. So they all said, now we'll walk you to your room. So I said, thanks. So they walked me to my room and I wasn't afraid. I mean, I had my altar there and my room was full of light. I had been meditating there. I just wasn't afraid, but it was weird. So then they left and I went to bed and I think Master was trying to have some fun, honestly, because in the middle of the night, around 1 o'clock, I heard this boom, 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 this loud booming. And I just went, what? And I picked up the phone, I called the lobby and they said, well, we'll check it out, ma'am. We don't know what's happening. And so then I just went back to sleep. 2 hours later, boom, boom, boom. It wasn't anything next door or downstairs, or it was very strange. And and it was like, if you want that in your mind, why don't you just draw some circumstance to you? And I just knew that I felt it was Master just having some fun, but also saying, keep your thoughts elevated. Don't go down to that level. Then the hotel people, they finally said, well, ma'am, it was something out on the street and something happened. They were trying to fix something. And by the time I left that hotel, I mean, they were looking at me like when I got in the car, like, she'll never be back here again. That's probably true. But anyway, we have to really protect ourselves against negative influences that come in. Swamiji said when he was in a bad area of San Francisco, long back, and he had to go there to get some music. He was meeting some person in music that was helping him. And he said he could just feel all this negative energy around in that particular area, and bad thoughts and low energy and low thoughts. And he said in his mind, he was just chanting Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram. So anytime you're feeling like it's getting a hold of you, and it does, you have to guard against it. And so do japa, sing the chants. Also, you read something every day from Master's books. They're a blessing, just the vibrations from those books. Do healing prayers. I have a long list here. Occupy yourself. Here's a wonderful one. Occupy yourself with inspiring thoughts. I lift my energy from classes. I have to get the thoughts right, organize them, go over and over and over again. It's like cleansing the mind. And you can do the same with any creative thing that you do, and fill your house with creative things. Beautiful things. Someone came to my house recently. I told you about my music teacher. So when he came, we was getting ready to leave, and he said, I didn't like it here. I didn't know what it was. He asked me at a certain point, now, where's your family? I said, come with me. And I took him into the temple, in my temple. He says, oh, okay, I get it. This is my family. But your temple, the meditation room, is emanating wonderful energy, wonderful thoughts. Your whole house should emanate that. Put beautiful paintings on the wall, like Jyotishji's paintings, and wonderful vibrations. If you put a painting of someone looking depressed, they're depressed on your wall, you're going to feel depressed yourself. And I remember Swamiji bought Odierna paintings, beautiful scenes of Italy, of the sea and of flowers. And so all of these things are affecting you. And also the talks that we have, and I went over, I said, do readings, but the talks, Master's voice, Swamiji's music, and also you can do Om Tat Sat, bringing your hands forward and back. But the point is, do something. Don't just sink down into negativity. into a hole and think you're going to pull yourself out. It could take a long time. And that effect of what you're putting out is going to come back on you. I like to close now with an affirmation itself. It's a wonderful affirmation of Master. Let me read the words first and we'll do it together. I relax and cast aside all mental burdens, allowing God to express through me His perfect love, peace, and wisdom. Please say it after me, line by line. I relax and cast aside all mental burdens, allowing God to express through me His perfect love, peace, and wisdom. I relax and cast aside all mental burdens, allowing God to express through me His perfect love, peace, and wisdom. I relax and cast aside all mental burdens, allowing God to express through me His perfect love, peace, and wisdom. Now said mentally, I relax and cast aside all mental burdens, allowing God to express through me His perfect love, peace, and wisdom. Om Shanti, Shanti. I'll request Natendra to come on screen now. I have a couple of questions.
Yes, Dhyanaji. Thanks a lot for sharing the practical stories as well. So the one you mentioned, but the first question is, how can I protect myself in a not so uplifting environment, like at work, especially when people are around, so maybe we can't do affirmations and so on.
Yeah. Om Guru in your mind, a chant in your mind, a picture of one of the gurus in your drawer that you can pull out. Master said to those who think me near, I will be near. I think a lot, we have to bring that consciousness to our mind. When you have a break, maybe instead of going to the coffee or chai machine, go out, walk in place, run in place, get some fresh air, do a couple of deep breathings, do double breath with tension, exhale. We've got a big toolbox, but we got to use the tools. And I think that's the point. What I want to say is you got to work at it. You can't just hope and pray that your mind is going to be uplifted and clear and positive. You've got to just keep working at it. Like this morning when I got up, I had a worry on my mind and I just thought, I don't want to worry. Do I like worrying? No. Get out. And I just shifted. And so you have to think like that. You have to think like a warrior. Otherwise, I got problems. I got worries too. Oh my God. Just got to shake it off. Do all the things and be strong in yourself. Okay, then the next question.
Yeah, I have 2 more questions. So the next is, we did the affirmation, and which ones should we use in this kind of a setting, and what's the best way to use them?
That's a good one. And the affirmations for self-healing is full of them. And also the scientific healing affirmations is full of them. I like this one. I am submerged in eternal light. That one is beautiful. The divine presence fills me in body, mind, and soul, something like that. Then there's another one. I go forth in perfect faith with the power of omnipresent good to bring me what I need at the time I need it. And then I'm brave, I am strong. Perfume of success thoughts blows in me. I'm cool, I'm calm, I'm sweet, I'm kind, I'm love and sympathy, I'm charming and magnetic. I love that word, those words. I wipe away all tears and fears. I have no enemy. I am the friend of all. They're powerful. These are master's words. You can't go, I am brave, I am strong, perfume of success thought. You got to punch it. I'm brave, I am strong. No, and then anything is just it's gonna go away from you. It's gonna find somebody else. That's what I tell. Go find somebody else. Not a guru by though. Okay, so then?
Yeah, the final one, Dhyana is what is the purpose of silence and how do we use that to?
Silence calms the mind down. People talk a lot. And believe it or not, I'm more of a quiet person, but why are you smiling, Nitendra? I am, honestly, but I need to speak and all that. But if I'm by myself, I mean, what I'd rather do is be alone and be quiet. So that calms your mind. It gets rid of restlessness, nervousness, anxiousness, worries and doubts and fears. If you just go silent for a while. I know it's hard in people's homes, but a lot of times you can just take a walk through the forest, take a walk by yourself and just have at least some time in silence. And the other thing silence does is helps you to commune with Divine Mother and the masters. Mentally talk with them, pray with them, give them your life, offer them your life, get their guidance. If you're always chattering, you can't hear them, can you? No. And people wonder, they say, I'm not getting any guidance. So I would say, just go in silence for a while and feel and hear and listen. Master said, Rajasi found God, Rajasi Janakananda found God because he learned how to listen. That's the ultimate boon of silence. You learn how to listen. Okay, thank you, Natindra. Thank you, everyone. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.